Life struggles, happy moments, bad times, and unforgettable memories.
Join us as we talk about our lives and share a laugh or two with us as we bring you along on our crazy journey called life.
Welcome
To
to
Two
Wives,
Wives,
One
One
World.
World.
Hey listeners, welcome back for another episode.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are back for another week, and boy, do we have a subject for you tonight. We are ready to just conquer the world tonight and tell you guys some stories that hopefully make you laugh a little bit and just enjoy the night with us. Nikki, how the heck's it going?
It's going. I'm virtually teaching this week, so it has been interesting, kind of stressful just because something new that I'm getting used to, and I honestly don't mind it. It's kind of fun. But other than that, I'm just hanging out at home, trying to get some cleaning done, and yeah, that's about it. What about you?
Oh, girl, I'm right there with you. Trying to keep my house clean, trying to eat right, even though I had fast food for dinner tonight, but we're not going to talk about that. Just trying to live my adult life as best as I can and, staying away from the virus that unfortunately didn't get erased when 2021 came around.
Right.
But yeah, just doing the same old, enjoying the cat. Ryan's not working as much. Last week he worked 80 hours, so I barely saw him.
Wow.
But this week he's just going to be working, I think his like normal, I don't know, 48, 56, whatever hour weeks.
Still so many hours.
I know. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. It's like I don't know. I love him. He's a hard worker, but I am the complete opposite.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow, he is a hard worker. Holy cow.
So hopefully this week I'll be spending a little bit more time with him. Other than that, though, I can't really complain about much. Everything's going pretty good.
I am on this plan so this is not my cup of the day, but I've been carrying this thing around with me like for the past week. This is
Dang!
the size of my head. I got this for Christmas from my mother-in-law. My goal is to drink 2 of these a day. I have not even made it through one yet today.
That's
So
like huge.
it is, I don't remember how much, 64 ounces? 64 ounces.
Dang.
So my goal is to drink 2 of these a day, and then I
Yeah.
want to start doing Just Dance again.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Because I've noticed like my flexibility is starting to go downhill, and I don't like that.
Yeah, that I can definitely tell. There are certain things that I do now that I used to do 10 years ago that I'm like, that has changed. That's not good.
I used to be able to sit on the floor and like almost put my legs behind my head. Yeah, that can't happen anymore.
I'm telling you though, I just want to know, like there's a lady that I work with and she's awesome. And she's like one of the head people at the bank that I work at. And like she's physically fit. Like she uh, you know, like works out hard.
Hmm.
And like I know she's at the bank before we're supposed to be there and after we're there. So I just want to know how she works as much as she does in like a head position and still has the time to like keep fit in her body and stuff. Like she looks great. Like and
Right.
I'm just like I need to ask her what the heck her motivation. And then there's another lady that's in her I don't know how old she is. I would say she's maybe our mom's ages.
Okay.
But she's on like the second round of P90X, which if anybody knows what P90X is, it's the devil in workout form. It's pretty awful. But she's kicking it too. And I'm like, all right, ladies, I need you to sit me down and tell me, listen, this, because I cannot get it through my mind. Like, okay, just because you work from 8 to 4:30 every day, that doesn't
Mhm.
mean you can't work out for half an hour or dance for
Yep.
half an hour. So maybe we can help each other and I don't know.
I would love that. We should do, I feel like once it gets warmer out, do you remember how we used to go for walks all the time
Yes, on the
together?
way.
I feel like we should start like video chatting each other
Yes,
while we're walking. So like,
yes.
or like call each other or something. So like we're walking together and then we'll be like, okay, let's turn around. So then we like get back to our houses at the same time. So we're not like walking alone.
Heck yes. I love that idea.
Guys, you can make it happen. No
We
matter where you're at in the world, you can hang out with your friends and work out at the same
did
time.
we did good, guys. Like for a while, like we made it a pretty regular thing. Like
We
we
really
were
did.
doing a really good job. So we could get right back into it. We know we can do it. But anybody that's listening that has any tips, throw them our way because summer is slowly approaching, and I was not ready last year. I was not ready. So maybe this year, probably not, but maybe this year I'll shed a few pounds before then. I don't know.
Hey, but you know what? You can look at it this way. Your body got you through a pandemic.
Heck yeah. Your body got you fit. I love that.
Even if it like added a few pounds, it still got you through a pandemic and you survived it.
I
So
love that. That's great words of wisdom.
thanks.
Everybody needs a Nikki in their life.
Saying that, but then I also gained a few pounds. I had to go to the doctor on Monday and I got weighed and I was like, oof.
Yeah, I have to go to the doctor in exactly a week. So I guarantee you I probably gained a couple pounds. The pandemic 30, I'm telling you.
Right? I feel that.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, Nikki, I am dying for our listeners to see what you're drinking tonight.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I was going to hold off and like save my drink until we started, but it just looks so good. So this is, my cup's not very impressive tonight. It's just a glass. But I made salted caramel coffee.
Oh.
And this, so I'll show you guys a picture of what it looked like before I mixed it all together. But it is amazing.
It looks so good.
This was it before I mixed it all together.
Barista Nikki. Barista Nikki. That looks delicious.
Yeah, it tastes so good. What about you? What's in your cup tonight?
I am also, my Skype went down. I also am having coffee, but I think the creamer might be a little bad, so we're living on the edge tonight. It's an iced coffee with some white chocolate, what the heck? Macadamia. White chocolate macadamia creamer. So we're going to hope this doesn't give me the you-know-whats. And we're going to drink it. We're going to have a good time. Guys, grab your coffee, grab your water, grab your adult beverage, whatever you want tonight with us. Sit down if you're of age. Sit down, chill, hang out with us, and listen to some great stories that we have for you guys tonight. Which this episode was actually Nikki's idea. We were kind of earlier, we were like kind of pounding our heads saying, what should our episode be tonight? What should it be? And I'm telling you guys, I would hit a roadblock. Like it got to the point where I was like, well, why don't we talk about resumes? I thought about that for a second. And then I immediately, I swear to God, I wrote it out. I said, why don't we talk about what to do after college and resumes? And after I read it before I hit send, I said, what am I saying? And
I don't even know if I could like explain my life after college.
No, me either. Because I was like, okay, we could talk about life after college, but I didn't typically have the regular life after college. Like,
yeah, me either.
I packed up and scooted. I said bye to Pennsylvania. I left, But yeah, Nikki, why don't you tell everybody what idea you had for tonight?
Okay, so real quick backstory. If you guys have been on TikTok at all in the last like few days, there's this huge song going around, and like I said, if you've been on TikTok, you probably already know what I'm talking about. But if any of you have ever watched Bizaardvark or High School Musical, the series on Disney Plus, wow, that was a lot to say. Olivia Rodrigo, which is like the main character of those shows, wrote a song called Driver's License. And if you haven't listened to it, pause this and give that song a listen because you will not regret it. I made Cass listen to it right before we started recording. And Cass, what is your honest review of this song?
Okay. Goosebumps. And honestly, if I would have been listening to that by myself, I might have shed a couple tears. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it was raw. It was beautiful. Like, it felt like an authentic song that I feel like can touch anybody that, ever went through a heartbreak.
Yeah. 100%.
What about you? What'd you think?
It took me back to like my first boyfriend and like, I don't know, like I feel like your first love is like the person you're like, I'm gonna be with you for the rest of my life. And when that doesn't happen, like it just breaks you. And like that's what this song embodies. Yeah. Really. So like I said, if you haven't listened to it yet, go ahead and pause this video, go give it a listen, and come on back because tonight we are talking about breakups and bad dates that we have been on.
Yes, so guys, go ahead. Like Nikki said, go ahead, pause this, go ahead, listen to the song, and come back.
So, yeah. I guess, I don't really know where to start because I was thinking about this today. What was really the worst date I've been on? And I can't really say like I've had a terrible date. I've had bad dates, but like I've heard some horror stories from people.
Yes.
And I'm lucky enough that I don't have any of those.
Yeah, I'm also on the same boat as you. I've had some cringeworthy dates, that's for sure. But I can't say that there's a date where, like, if everybody was around the table drinking or whatever, oh my gosh, guys, you got to listen to this date. You know what I mean? I don't have anything crazy like that, but I definitely have some cringeworthy moments that, like, thinking back on it now, I'm just kind of like, that should have been a red flag. That definitely should have been a red flag. I don't know. And for anybody listening that knows us personally, if we are talking about you, if in some world you're listening to this and you know that we're talking about you, we don't mean any harm.
No, not at all. Like,
don't.
Okay, guys, we both got married right after college, if you didn't know that. So these dates were literally like high school, like for Cass, some might be in college because she started off college without her husband now, her fiance. Whoa. So yeah, if you're listening to this and this is about you, like we were in high school.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay that they were bad dates. You're supposed to go on bad dates in high school.
Yeah, and don't take any, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're talking bad about that person. Get over it.
And we're not going to give these people's, like, the people that we're talking about, we're not going to say their real names.
Yes, definitely not.
But if you know us personally, you will probably know what some of these stories are going to be about.
100%.
And who they're about.
I'm like already getting flustered thinking about it. But yeah, guys, buckle in. And if you have any cringeworthy moments, any bad dates, any heartbreak stories, let us know. Reach out to us. Let us know. We'll talk about it on the next podcast.
Yeah. And so I know my niece listens to our podcast and she just turned 12. So happy birthday, Brianna.
Yes. Happy birthday, Brianna. I cannot believe you are 12 years old. Like, Brianna, my dad was the paramedic that came to Nikki's house, Grammy Deb's house. It just blows my mind. And Nikki, do you remember in 8th grade, whenever we were talking about babies and sex ed, and I'm pretty sure you said something about Cassidy's dad.
No, I was talking about the story of Brianna's mom and what happened because she didn't know she was pregnant and she had my niece in my mom's house. Well, I was telling the story during sex ed because we were talking about babies. And I was explaining it and Cassidy was like, my dad was the paramedic that was there.
I couldn't remember if you said it or if I had said it. That was literally like, what, 14 years ago or something crazy. 8th grade. That makes me sound old.
It would have been 12 years ago because she's 12.
Oh, yeah, 12 years ago. Oh my gosh.
That's so crazy.
Good times. Good times. Who would have known back then that this many years later we'd have a podcast and we'd be getting our hearts broken in a couple years and all of that. Oh my gosh, good time.
But what I was getting at with that was like, so if you're young and you're listening to us, like in your teens or you're in high school or whatever, just know that you're going to go on some bad dates. And don't settle for any less than you feel you deserve. Because I feel like as a teenager, I did that a lot. Like I was just like, I just want somebody to love me. So I was just like, whatever, this person is good enough.
Big same.
So, I mean, I didn't settle and look where I'm at now. Same with you, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got some men that really treat us great. So anybody that's listening to this that is going through a heartbreak, you'll get through it and that person will be coming for you, and work on yourself. Yeah. And love yourself before you can love anybody. I know that sounds very cliche, but you have to love yourself and be accepting of yourself before you can find somebody else to do that for you.
I love it.
your words of wisdom from Nickety. Nikki and Kat.
I almost just spit my coffee out all over my new laptop. I should not do that.
Good times, guys.
Oh man. Anyway, so do you want me to start, I guess?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Start us off.
Okay. So, the first one that comes to my mind was this time Cass and I think it was you and me. Yeah. You, me, and then your boyfriend at the time and my boyfriend at the time. Like, we were together, but like I think he liked me way more than I liked him, and it was just kind of like I was with him to get over my previous relationship. And we were all going out to dinner before this dance that we were going to in school. I think it was like semi-formal, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So we go to dinner, and normally the guy pays for dinner. And normally the guy pays for the ticket to go to the dance. Well, first off, the guy didn't pay for the ticket for the dance. We'll call him Bob. Okay? Bob didn't pay for the ticket to go to the dance. I paid for our tickets, which was whatever. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, if you didn't have the money, I got you. And then we go out to dinner. So I'm like, okay, well, I bought the ticket, so he'll buy dinner. The check comes, and he didn't have enough money.
Oh no.
So I paid for our dinner and the tip. And then we all go to the dance and we're all hanging out, and I already had in the back of my head, as soon as we're done with this dance, I am breaking up with him.
Oh no.
So the dance is over. Cass, myself, and another one of our friends go back to my mom's house, and I'm like, guys, I'm just gonna do it. Literally, not even 3 minutes after we drop this kid off at his house, I text him and say I'm breaking up with him.
Yes, I remember that.
I was so mean.
I mean, at the same I mean, you know, if it's not there, it's not there. And I mean, to be fair, he didn't seem very appreciative anyways. Like, he just didn't, like, that's the thing. Like, if you would have bought the tickets and you would have bought dinner and he would have been extremely gracious about it, like, that's a different story. But this dude
Right.
was straight faced basically about it, you know.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't care if you say, hey, I just don't have the money. Do you mind paying?
Right.
Like, I would be like, yeah, no problem. Like, going into it, knowing that would have been fine. But the fact that it just gets sprung on me, like, it's a good thing I had money.
Yeah, because if not, you know the guy. Never mind, I'm not going to say it.
No, just say it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you know the guy I was with wasn't going to pay. Like, he wasn't going to pay for everybody. He wasn't enough of a gentleman, you know?
True.
No hard feelings, guys, at all. Again, I just want to keep disclaimer, like, no hard feelings. This is just for comedy.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, I remember that very vividly, Nikki, because we went to Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah, we did. That's where we went.
Isn't that when didn't you get that pasta with the shrimp in it?
Yeah, I always get that when I go there. It's
no
so
tomatoes.
good. What is it?
With no tomatoes, right?
Yeah, and then, you know, so this pasta, they put like tomatoes in it, and I always ask for it without tomatoes, but then they put these huge freaking leafy, I don't even know what it is. I don't want those. It doesn't say it comes with the pasta. Do not put it in my pasta. I pick them out every time.
Preach. Preach. Amen, sister. Amen. That is a great story right there. Excuse me, I don't know if I should go for the straight cringe story first, or if I should just do the one that, like, pisses me off the most.
Let's go do the.
Or I have another one super short that's just kind of dumb.
Let's start with that one.
Okay, so I really can't say much because you guys are probably going to know who I'm talking about. Like, this is mostly the same dude the whole time, except for one exception, who was basically my rebound. If you ever listen to this rebound, I'm sorry. It just wasn't there.
This wasn't you.
It wasn't you. It wasn't you. It really was me. I was insecure. So, you know, I love Olive Garden. Nikki, you love Olive Garden. I'm sure you listeners love some pasta. I do. So, you know, if it's an anniversary or let's say a date or Valentine's Day or one of those, and you're going to take your girlfriend to Olive Garden out of town, what are you going to wear? You're going to wear probably some slacks, you know, jeans and a nice shirt. I got dressed up and, you know, we were young. I was ready. I was ready for this day. I was like dolled up, you know, looking cute. And I get in this man's car who picked me up. And he had on a pair of pajama pants. Batman cotton pajama pants. I swear to God. I looked at him and I said, "What are you wearing? Do we have to go back to your place and get changed?" He said, "No, we can leave from here." I said, "Excuse me?" I said, "No, I was going to wear these pants. I was going to wear these pajamas. I don't really give a..." I said, "If you think I'm going to go to Olive Garden in Altoona in public, anywhere with you in those pajama pants, you might as well just keep me here. Drop me off right now. I'm staying at home." Moral of the story, got into an argument about it, but guess what? He wore slacks to Olive Garden.
That's my girl.
Why would you what?
Don't settle for anything less.
In what realm? In what realm do you wear Batman pajama pants on an anniversary dinner date out of town?
Olive Garden.
Out of town. I literally was, I had secondhand embarrassment, and we didn't go anywhere in those pants.
Mm-hmm.
And this person wore pajama pants to Walmart sometimes whenever I went with him. And I was so disgusted. Like, just, especially for an anniversary dinner, you don't wear Batman pajama pants. Like, thinking about it gets my heart rate going. Like, and this is why this relationship was toxic. Like, even talking about it's making me mad.
I mean, I don't blame you. So I know a majority of our listeners are female, but if you are a man, well, you know what? This can go for females too. Do not wear pajama pants on a date.
Yes, no.
Period.
Especially an anniversary to a nice place out of town.
Yeah.
Ooh, I get mad.
I agree.
But yeah, so that's my probably the lowest on my radar right now. The lowest on my little like graph that I have going.
Yeah.
Probably the lowest. That's probably the lowest. Yeah, so there's that. I hope you guys liked that. I didn't.
I did. Okay. So funny thing, you know how I told you guys I paid for this last date? Well, this date I'm about to tell you about is actually my husband.
Aww.
I love him to death, but there are things I love him. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's grown as a man.
Yes. We were in high school when we started dating. So our very first date, we went to go see a movie, and we walked into the movie theater, and they told him how much 2 tickets were, and my dude pulls out a $10 bill. And I'm like, that's only gonna cover your ticket. So I was like, you hold on to that. I'll just pay for the movie. So I did, and it was a great, like, Justin and I, we had like a beautiful first date. Kid burned his hand at work like a couple days before our first date. So we get into the movies and he goes, "Do you mind sitting on this side of me?" And I'm like, "Sure." I thought he was talking about me. So he made me sit on that side so he could hold my hand during the movie, which was super cute. And then I guess this date was more cringy than it was like bad. But we're on our first date. Justin like hasn't ever kissed a girl before now. And there was this couple behind us making out the whole movie. And it is so loud. Like, you know when like people kiss and it gets loud? Yeah. All we could hear was the whole time. And first dates are awkward to begin with it. So we're sitting there. He's holding my hand, and I can only imagine what's going through his head right now. And I'm like watching the movie, and I'm like, okay, you know, is this guy gonna make a move? Like, and nothing happened. And then after the movie, we go outside, and I'm like, is he gonna kiss me? Like, come on, let's go. So I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna kiss him instead. So I ended up kissing him first,
Aw.
not knowing that that was his first kiss.
Aw.
And then I felt so bad because I'm like, wow, I just kissed you and didn't realize, like, I didn't make it special. It was literally right outside the movie theater. So,
Aw.
yeah, that was my cringy date with my husband.
Aw. I remember what movie you guys went to go see.
I went to go see the remake of Footloose.
I remember that. I know a lot of very random facts about you.
You do. That's why we're friends.
That's a great story.
You could literally probably answer all of my, you know how, like, you have to answer security questions for some stuff? I guarantee you could answer, like, all of those.
I would try my darndest.
Cass would be like, I'm about to break into your bank account.
All right, I'm about to wire 200. But that is great. That is so cute. Man, I wish we could go back. I guess I'll go ahead and go for my cringy moment. And here's my cringy date. It also started at the movie theater, where my friend Aubrey and Shad decided it would be a good idea to follow us to this date and sit 2 rows in front of us. This boy, because he's a boy, the hush say he's a boy. Oof. This man, okay, is driving me home and says to me, "Oh no, I think something's wrong with the engine." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what?" So he pulls over to the Highland Street school, or no, the Oklahoma elementary school. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna check the engine real quick." And my first freaking clue should have been that he did not go to the front of the car. He went to the back of the car. And you want to know what he says to me? He says, "Hey, can you give me a hand back here? I think there's something wrong with the engine." I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah." So I go back, and it was a sweet gesture. I'm not gonna lie, it was a sweet gesture. I go to the back of the car, and he's sitting there with a guitar, with the trunk open. I said, he then proceeds to hand me a snow globe, and then sings "What Makes You Beautiful" by One Direction on the guitar.
Oh. Was he a good singer at least? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. And you sat through that whole thing without laughing?
My dude sang the whole song. So I stood there and said, I twitching a little bit.
Oh my gosh, I'm like getting warm listening to these.
Yeah, so my dude's strumming away, acting like the engine was broken, wasn't. I mean, it was a nice gesture, don't get me wrong. The snow globe was cute. I got rid of it.
Oof.
It was a nice gesture, but I just.
Hi.
Not worried.
Did you hear me talking about you?
No.
Justin, hey.
Cass said, Justin, yeah, you want to come make an appearance?
No, I'm in sweatpants. And...
Boo.
Cass going, boo.
Well, boo on you too, Cass.
Come here and say, they can't see your bottom half.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Well, technically they're joggers. Okay?
He's crawling in my office, guys. Just an FYI.
Oh, don't.
Oh. So
Your camera's different.
it is different. Do you want to hear what we're talking about this week?
No. Sure.
And this is why he was one of my stories.
Ooh.
We're talking about bad/cringy dates that we've been on.
Okay, I'm gonna just crawl away now.
I told them about our first date.
What do you mean? Oh my god, that was all of that was an accident. All of it.
Aww.
At least I married you.
I'm triggered.
Poor Justin.
Okay, I'm gonna crawl away now.
All right, goodbye.
And,
He's let's go get him. But yeah, that is very cringy. I can't believe he sang that whole song to you, and it wasn't even good.
The entire thing. I mean, he has a nice voice, but it just didn't suit his voice. Like, it and it was an acoustic version of the song that is very pop. Like that song is extremely pop. Like,
Yeah.
and I was just standing there like sweating a little bit because it was so awkward for me. Because what do you do when someone's serenading you? You know what I mean? Like you just look at them and smile. Like what do? Do you, you know? And I'm pretty sure he asked me to be his girlfriend after that. And I was starstruck at the time. I was very starstruck at the time until I got home and told the story. And they're just like, that is extremely creepy. Like he could have pushed you in the trunk and kidnapped you, and you would have been like, okay, I'm coming back.
Really though.
Well, now I'm thinking, God bless to my daughter. She better not be like me when she gets older, if I ever have a kid. God, there's some stories that we will not tell on the podcast, but there are just some times.
Oh man, I really wish we could though, because you have some good ones and I have some good ones, and I feel like that would be quality Like I wish we could set like an 18 or older.
Or make like a secret alias podcast where like we don't do a video, just like our voices, and we tell cringy stories about our past.
That'd be so much fun. I would love that.
That would be hilarious. That really would. But yeah,
But
guys,
we should do like a hidden Two Wives One World episode.
and you have to like crack a case or something to get to it to prove that like
That you're a true fan.
you're a true fan.
I feel like that should be a thing.
I think it should be.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Maybe whenever we are out of this pandemic and have more motivation to do things in life.
True.
But yeah, that's a cringy story.
Sorry, I just had a really good idea about that. Like, you have to message us or DM us or whatever a secret word, and then we send you the
link,
the episode.
That is a good idea. We might be coming on to something, guys.
Like a scavenger hunt for a secret episode.
A scavenger hunt for a secret episode.
Wow, that was mind-blowing.
Yeah, guys, we have big things coming now.
A scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt for a secret episode.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, it's a straight cringe. You know what I mean? Like thinking back now, I have secondhand embarrassment just because it's just cringy. Like, and it was just weird.
Hey, you know, at least nothing bad happened, and he was just trying to be sweet and nice.
And he was a little too nice though. You know what I mean? Like too nice to the point where it felt more like a friend than it did
a boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's how the first date I told Bob, that's how Bob was. He was very nice and very sweet, but the connection just wasn't there.
Bob and Paul were both rebounds.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll call him Paul.
Bob and Paul were very big rebounds.
I agree.
Good times though. Do you have any more?
I have two more that I can think of.
Okay.
So my next one, I'm trying to think of what I want to call him. We'll call him Josh. So my next one is about Josh. His name is not really Josh. He took me to his prom, and he went to a different school than we did. So I went to Josh's prom with him, and we went with another couple, and it was like we went out to dinner and stuff, and that was fun. But then we were at the prom, and Josh and his friend were very like standoffish and like didn't want to dance and didn't want to do anything. And if you knew me in high school, like if I'm going to a like school dance, I am dancing the whole time. So it was just weird for me because I didn't know anybody there because it was a different school. I barely talked to my date, and the other girl that was with us was just kind of weird. Like the whole thing was strange. And I said to Josh, hey, do you want to go dance or, you know, go talk to somebody or go get a drink or something? And he was like, nah, I think I'm all right. Granted, I ended up finding out later that he's a stoner.
Oh.
Didn't know that at the time. And the weird thing was, like, I'd been hanging out with him for maybe about 3 months at the time, so I feel like that's something I should have known.
Yeah, that seems like something that's hard to hide.
But, yeah, so it was really awkward, and then he finally decided to go dance and just left me at the table by myself.
Wow.
because I was like, oh yeah, let's go. And he was like, oh, this is just like a guy's thing. And I'm like, or no, this is just a Brockway thing, because that was the school I was at.
Ew.
So I'm like, okay. So I'm literally sitting at this table by myself. Everybody is on the dance floor. It is just me. And I'm like, okay, this is great. I love this. And it gets worse. So the dance is over. We go to drop his friend and his date off. We're driving, and he goes to turn out of his friend's house and hits a curb. Like, goes up on the curb and slams the truck against the road. And I was like, did you not see that? Oh, no, I must have just missed it. You just went over a whole curb. What do you mean? You basically were just driving on the sidewalk. So he gets to my house, and he goes, did you have a good time? And I was like, sure, because, you know, I was nice, and I didn't want to make him feel like the piece of trash he was. And I was like, yeah, you know, it was a good time. And he was like, oh, cool. And that was it. That was the date. It was terrible.
Did he genuinely think that maybe you had a good time? Like, what?
Apparently sitting at a table all night, not knowing anybody and not talking to anybody was a good time. The best part of it was that I got to get dressed up and wear this really pretty prom dress. That was it.
Okay, guys not dancing at dances are absolutely horrible. That's absolutely horrible. That I don't understand. Like, I did not get all dressed up to just sit around and then be discluded whenever you actually do dance. Men are awful. Unless you're my dad and my brother in some of Nikki's family.
Or our husbands.
Or, yes, and our husbands. And our husbands. My family, Nikki's family that are men, and our husbands. And my cat, he's a boy.
True.
I don't understand. Like, did guys really not see anything wrong with that? You know, like, do they not stop and think for a second, like, oh, maybe I should show her a good time? Like in the 80s movies, like, you know what I mean? Like, prom in 80s movies, I just want to say, looks so much fun. Like, guys are out dancing, they look sharp, they're having a good time, they pick the girl up, they open the car doors, all that. And, like, guys, like, at least whenever I went to some of the dances, which my next story is actually also about a semi-formal, they just, for the first couple times, like, he would dance with me, and then, like, near the end, like, our senior prom, Nikki, barely danced with me. He was, like, at the freaking chocolate-covered strawberry fountain. Like, I had to find him and drag him in to dance with me. Like, no, this is my senior prom. I'm gonna dance if I want to dance. But anyway, that's just man.
And the fact that he drops me off and goes, did you have a good time?
Yeah.
And then doesn't even say, oh, thanks for coming with me. Like, I had so much fun. I hope to see you soon. And, like, a kiss or something. No, it was literally like, oh, cool. See ya.
Yeah, see ya. Blocking your number. Bye. Forget where I live. Ugh.
And then I'm pretty sure I ended up, like, dumping him not too soon after that, too. Like, maybe a day or two later. Apparently there's a trend with me. Like, dances just make or break you for me.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't want to be with somebody that's not going to have any fun. Ugh. Men. I'm telling you. I'll go ahead and tell you all about my next story, which is really triggering for me. I'm not going to lie. I still get mad about this.
I'm so excited.
I still get angry about this. And I'll add on a part of this story, Nikki, when we get off of here. I'll add on another piece of the story because the listeners probably don't want to hear that part just because of how awful it is. Okay, so here's a little bit of a backstory. I was with this person who definitely liked somebody else 100%. I was told by multiple people about this. This person admitted it to me. All of the stuff. So we're at a dance, and I almost got into a fight with this girl at this dance because she danced on him.
I remember this.
I had to get held back.
I think I was one of the people that held you back, actually.
Good times. So, you know, I was wanting us all to hang out after this dance. You know, we only get so many dances in our high school career. 11 just jumped up on the table. He's like, I heard somebody hurt you. I'm coming up.
Oh.
And I really just wanted us to hang out after the dance. You know what I mean? That's what usually you do. Like us, our senior prom, all four of us, we hung out after the dance.
Mm-hmm.
And I've come to find out that after that dance, he straight up leaves the dance and goes hang out with this person in her friend group. Ditches me completely. And I left the dance as well. Not with him. Not with anybody. Anyways, completely just ditches me for this girl. And says to me during the dance, if I do anything else, that he's just going to straight up leave. Well, I didn't do anything else, and he's still left with this person and her friends. Didn't care about my feelings. I was heartbroken. I was triggered. I was mad. I was upset. I cried, I'm pretty sure, later on in the night.
Was this the same night as the basketball game? Or was this a different night?
That dance?
Because I remember the basketball game one, this person left you to go to, like, Taco Bell or something. And you were so angry.
I don't know if that was the same night or not. Maybe
I think this was a different night.
I think that night was different. But yeah, you know what? No, I got left twice. But anyway, yeah, left me to go be with this person that he liked. And to be honest, when he admitted to me that he had feelings for this person, I should have just left at that minute. Like, I don't understand why I drug it out. I don't know why I let all this drama be. But yeah, he straight up left me to go be with this person that he had feelings with in their little friend group. And the thing that pisses me off the most is, like, I never got an invite to go along. Like, I was never with them. Like, even like whenever it first started, before I had hard feelings towards everybody, I never got invited to go along. See,
Right.
like, I'm getting pissed talking about it because it makes me angry.
Yeah, it should, though.
Why was I not invited? That leads me to think that you were doing something you didn't want me to know about, first of all. That's a story for another time. But anyways, I got left at a dance for somebody that he had feelings for. And I'll add on to that story, Nikki, after this podcast.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah. Bad times, guys. See, we're getting triggered talking about it, but it's in the past. We are very happy with our husbands, and
we are. Even though one of my stories was about my husband, but I still love him regardless.
You know what? My last date is with my husband.
Is it really?
It is.
Yes.
It is.
I say it was my worst date for last.
I can't hear about this. I wonder if I know about this date. I can't think of anything, but maybe I do.
I don't know if you do or not. So, this date was with my first boyfriend. Yeah, my first boyfriend. We were together for probably about a year and a half. And this kid could literally, like, spit in my face and I would have worshipped the ground he walked on still. Do not do that to yourselves, ladies. Like, if he treats you like crap, leave. Because it's not worth it. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't love you.
He doesn't change.
He doesn't change. You can't change him. But yeah. Our relationship was just toxic from the beginning. But there was a time period where we'd break up, we'd get back together, we break up, we get back together, we break up, we get back together. So this was a point where we were, like, in between a breakup and getting back together. He takes me in his truck, and yeah, I know. And we're driving around, and oh my gosh, why can't I think of what it's called? Where you slide around on ice.
Ice skating?
No, in a car.
Oh, donuts. Doing donuts.
Doing donuts, going drifting. That's what I was thinking.
Drifting, going ice skating.
Going ice skating. Ice skating for a truck.
Yeah.
So we were going drifting, which is dangerous to begin with. Whatever. We were going drifting, and he takes me to this, like, big, secluded, like, gravel hill place. And I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, these gravel hills were huge. And I'm like, I'm not going up that with you in this truck. And he was like, fine, get out. And he literally pushes the door open for me. And I'm like, all right. So I hop out, slam the door, and he drives up this huge hill. And apparently, up on the top of the hill was like all of his friends at a fire. And I'm like, is he going to come down and get me? He never came down to get me. I had to walk up the hill by myself. It's a gravel hill, by the way, so I kept like sliding down backwards. Finally, I get up there and I'm like, okay, thank you for helping me. And he was like, it's your fault. You're the one that should have just came with me. It just makes me livid talking about it.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
So I get up there and we're hanging out, and all of his friends had their girlfriends, and none of them liked me because they were all like hick people. And if you know me, I'm not a hick kind of girl or gal or whatever you want to call me. So I'm sitting there. None of them like me because they think I'm a priss. And all of his guy friends are just obviously talking to him, and I'm just sitting there again because apparently this happens to me a lot. And I was like, hey, are you ready to go? And he was like, no. Ladies, if you say I'm ready to go and your boy says no, because that's what they are. They're a boy if they tell you no and you're not comfortable and you want to leave. If they say no, you take your ass and you turn around and you walk the opposite direction, dump his ass, call somebody to come get you, because that's what I should have done. Oh my goodness.
Oh, she went off. That's what I love. I know, it makes you angry, doesn't it? Like, talking about it just makes your blood like get hot, you know?
So, needless to say, I sat there in awkward silence for the next like hour. He finally takes me home and I'm like, I don't think I even said anything to him. I think I just got out and like went in the house. And then he texts me, he's like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, I'm not even answering you. And then we get back together. Again, I did not make the best decisions. We got back together, and I did not answer this man's text for maybe a half an hour because I was playing Just Dance and I was like enjoying myself.
I remember this.
And my dude says, if you're going to play Just Dance instead of talking to me, I'm breaking up with you. This was the last time, guys. The last time. And I was like, see ya. That was the last time we were together. Like, that is how we broke up, because I was playing Just Dance for a half an hour and I was taking too long to answer him.
That sounds so ridiculous. Like, that sounds insane. Like, that literally sounds mental. Like,
that was my worst date and my most aggravating date. And do not date somebody that treats you like that.
no, nobody should have to deal with that. If you tell your man, like you said, if you tell your man you want to leave and you're feeling awkward, he better pack his stuff up and leave, because you are not staying in that situation.
Yep.
That right there is toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody deserves that crap. Like, see, this is how we know these relationships were toxic, because even talking about it's like getting us feeling some type of way. You know what I mean? Like, the secrets and the weird group of friends that didn't like us and all of that, when we're both very easy to get along with.
Yeah.
Like, that right there should have showed us that we were not the problem.
I like literally remember these girls, like, I would go to talk to them and they would say like one or two words to me, turn away from me, and then start laughing. Like,
ooh, ugh.
And then I would just sit there and they were literally like gossiping about everything and anyone. And I was literally like, I'm not even, like, I'm trying to be friends with you and you are just ignoring me for no reason. Like, I gave you no reason to not like me. Just because I don't wear cowboy boots and booty shorts and
Plaid or plaid button-ups.
Yeah, that are like tied in a whatever, a bow.
No, a pink camo hoodie.
Oh my god. These, I'm not kidding you, I'm pretty sure they all had either camo hoodies on. And I'll wear a plaid shirt, guys. I am a plaid shirt girl. I love them. But these girls, you were either in oversized clothes or in barely any clothes.
Yep.
These girls had tied up flannels, as I'm pretty sure just their bra on under it. And you dress how you want. Like, it is your body. You should be empowered. But these girls were not tiny, and their bellies were hanging out, and it was cold outside. I do not know how they didn't get hypothermia.
They just,
Oh, man.
I don't.
Picture Joe Exotic and Joe Exotic and Snooki if they had a baby. And that is the kind of people that I was dealing with.
Oh, I'm glad we got you out of that.
And not good Snooki, like now Snooki. I mean like Jersey Shore, like the first season Snooki.
Trashy Snooki.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not any fun. You don't want to be around those types of people. Oof.
Oof.
Yeah. That's just taking me back to some bad memories now. I just can't. Hey, you would have if you would have married him, you probably would have had a little John Deere tractor on your wedding cake.
Speaking, so this guy that I was talking about is actually married now, so yay for him. I hope he's nicer to his wife than he was to me. But oh man, I feel so bad saying this. Everybody has their own type of wedding they want to have. Justin and I's was very formal. I've always wanted like a fairy tale wedding, so like we were all nicely dressed and all that stuff. Same with our engagement pictures. We were like, I was in jean shorts and like a cute shirt. Justin was in jeans and a nice shirt. My dude, his engagement pictures, I'm pretty sure he wore a cut off and ripped jeans, and he had a big old dip in his lip. His wedding pictures, and again, everybody's wedding is different and good. I mean, you do you. Personally, not my taste. But he had jeans, and a dress shirt and a vest and a tie. Okay? That's not the bad part. The bad part is the big old dip in his lip for all of his wedding pictures.
No.
Yep.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
Oh, I just thought of another story about him actually.
I can add one more if you want to add that one at the end.
Okay, it's a short one, so.
Okay, so I'll talk about Ryan. I love him, but his mouth gets him in trouble sometimes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We were at a Pittsburgh Pirates game, and they were playing the Cincinnati Reds, which was Ryan's favorite baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
And the Reds were losing. And there were some trashed people behind us talking trash on Cincinnati. So, I mean, like, they were obnoxious screaming. Like, the type of people you just don't want to be around. Like, and they had kids with them. Which makes it even better. So, my dear husband, who never knows when to stop, looks back at him and says, "Hey, dude, why don't you shut up and just have another one?" And my dude looks down at Ryan and goes, "What did you just say, punk?" And he's like, "Drink another beer." And he said, anyways, they were going back and forth. And I'm sitting here like, la, 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 la.
And you were the most, like, non-confrontational person.
I hate confrontations. I just don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fighting, and my dude comes walking down the stairs, like, towards us, and goes, "I'll beat your outside. Meet me outside here. I will kick your scrawny. I'm going to beat the out of you." And I was like, "Bring it on. You're not going to do anything." He's like, "Come punch me right now. You're not going to do anything." And I'm sitting here like the lady in front of me. I'm like, "Do you want me to take your picture? Like, do you want me to take your picture in the field behind you?" I mean, like, he was literally, Ryan would not stop. Like, he would not stop. He kept going and going and going. He was right. The guy never came down and did anything. But I was sitting there. My anxiety was sky high. Like, I was just like, I don't like confrontations. If you're going to do it, have a reason. Like, they were extremely obnoxious, but you're allowed to get drunk at a baseball game. Ryan was just salty because his baseball team did not win that game. Ha 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 ha, Ryan. If you ever listen to this, ha 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 ha. But anyways, My dude is going and going and going and going. And I told him, I said, Brian, I said, what if this man has a gun outside of the PNC Park? He's not going to do anything. He won't do it. He won't do it. I told him to hit me. He won't do it. And I'm like, please, just stop.
Yeah.
Calm down. Let this man pass out drunk in the streets. That's fine. But I'm here trying to enjoy the baseball game, and I can't even enjoy the baseball game because I have to watch my back and make sure I don't get jumped.
Really, though.
And I'm just like, dude, just stop. I love my husband, but he does not stop. Like, if he feels a certain way about something, he will say it. Like, he won't hold back. If he believes in something, or you're being obnoxious or just extremely annoying to him, he's going to tell you. Like, he doesn't care. And that is one of his best and worst qualities, because he'll say things that I don't want to say to people, but he will also say things that I would not say to other people, because
Right.
it's happened more than once. At one point, he was on a boat on the Cincinnati River thing after a Steelers football game, and he was going off on a drunk guy on the boat, and the drunk guy takes Ryan's phone out of his hand and goes to throw it out onto the water, and Ryan grabs it.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
just like, dude, I mean, he really gets himself in trouble. Like, that man could have pushed him off into the water. He could have thrown his cell phone. He wouldn't have had any way to get a hold of anybody. He's better now, but once upon a time, he never knew when to shut his yapper. Like, I love you, Ryan, if you're listening to this. And to anybody in Ryan's family, if you're listening to this, I love Ryan to death. But you gotta admit, my dude doesn't stop. So,
And like you said, it's like a good thing and a bad thing. Like,
yes.
you know he's gonna stand up for you no matter what, but at the same time, like, sometimes you just want to be like, stop it.
Stop. Talk to me about this in the car. Like, don't go off on someone. Like, ho, 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 ho. Why did I just sound like Santa Claus there for a second?
Ho, 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 ho.
Ho. But that is my dear husband. I love him, but oh my gosh. I told him the next baseball game we go to, if we ever go to another baseball game, if it happens again, I'm walking out. Like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and come back once everything's done.
I don't blame you.
But yeah, that's my story with my wonderful husband.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I know I said the last one was the worst, but this one is the worst. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of this one sooner, because this is literally the worst thing that's ever happened to me from a guy. So, the boyfriend that I was talking about before in the previous story, we were in, it was either our freshman year no, it had to be our sophomore year of high school. And I had a cyst on my tailbone, okay?
Oh no, I know the story.
I had to go to the hospital to get it lanced. And if you don't know what lanced means, it's where they cut it open and drain all the gross stuff out of it. And then they pack it full of this stuff that you have to go get unpacked and repacked and unpacked and repacked. Very painful. Very non-pleasant. So when I talk about feeling how Olivia Rodrigo feels whenever she wrote the song Driver's License, this is what I think of. So this would have been the first time me and this boy broke up. And I went, like I said, I went and got the cyst lanced. And it was very painful. One of the worst hospital experiences I've ever had. I was supposed to go home and rest. And instead I said to my mom, Mom, please take me to the mall so I can spend some time with my boyfriend. And my mom, being the loving, caring person she is, she was like, okay. So she drops me off at the mall. I was trying to surprise my boyfriend at the time. And I get there, and I text him, and I said, hey, come outside. So he comes outside, and what is he? This is when wearing girls' necklaces was like a big thing for guys. He was wearing a girl's necklace that was not mine. That was actually a girl that I hated in high school. It was hers, which made it 100 times worse. I just had surgery, and instead of going home to rest, I went to the mall to see this idiot. Like, what was wrong with me? And he didn't even care. Like, he was literally like, oh, yeah, it's nice to see you. I'm gonna go do this. And I'm like, okay. So I literally walked around with him while he did his thing. And then it was during hunting season. Literally a couple days after that, he broke up with me for the first time. And I was heartbroken. And I had to go get the packing taken out of my cyst and get it repacked. And I remember just crying because it hurt. And plus, my heart felt like it was breaking. Like, it was so bad. And I, like, remember because I had to put, like, a heating pad on this thing to make the swelling not so bad. I remember laying on the floor with the heating pad on me, like just staring at the ceiling, wishing like I didn't hurt so much because of this boy. Like it was terrible.
Oh.
So that was my worst breakup slash it wasn't really a date. Like I guess it was my worst breakup.
Oh.
But yeah. I had my little heart broken. My little high school heart.
Oh my God. Wow, what an idiot. Not you, him.
No, I was an idiot too. I should have like, as a mom, I think when I become a mom someday and I see my daughter falling for somebody like that, I feel like I would want to protect her, but at the same time, I feel like she has to make her own mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And Brianna, if you're listening to this, I'm allowed to say this to you because I'm your aunt and not your mom. Do not date boys like that because your aunt will give them a stern talking to.
Yes, 100%. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'll tell you what story I thought you were going to tell. I thought you were going to tell about the Martins. When we were outside of Martins and he dropped you. When you were talking about your tailbone, I thought that's what you were going to talk. I thought that's what you were going to say. I was like, oh, I know this story. And then it got real deep. I was like, I don't know this story.
No, so the tailbone thing actually happened because do you remember when we used to work out after school?
Yes.
And there was one time we went into the wrestling room and like we're doing like gymnastics basically.
Yes.
That's where I got the infection from that I got my cyst.
Yeah, those wrestling mats are pretty nasty.
Yeah.
They're
So
nasty.
it's funny the story Cass is talking about is the same guy. Shocker.
Alert.
Cass was with her boyfriend at the time and I was with him. We were at a school football game and we walked across the road. There's like a Martin's there. And what was I standing on? A cart or something?
Mm-hmm.
I was standing on a cart and I was like, catch me. And literally I jumped and he did not catch me and I fell on my butt.
That was a sad day.
I
That's what you were going for. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, I know. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I don't.
Yeah.
Jerk. I think I
It
know
was
who you're
weird.
talking about too. I think I know whose necklace that was.
Probably. I'll tell you after.
Awful. So I'm going to tell you this very awful story, which I guess is not really like a super date because like there were other people with us, but like this is just an awful experience I had with him that also ended up with me in the hospital. So I don't know if you guys know what hillbilly sled riding is, but it's when you tie a sled on a rope onto the back of a truck and go down back roads.
Yes.
So I was with the same person I was talking about earlier. And he and his friend, I was with my cousin and we were inside the truck. I was like, I'm not doing that because it just looked dangerous and stupid.
Yeah.
But they were pulling each other down these back roads in Rockton with a sled on the back and they were having a grand old time. I was like, all right, cool. I get talked into doing it. And this person told me to put this ski mask on just to be safe. Like he and his friend weren't wearing this mask, but I had the ski mask on. My cousin was behind me, so I had the mask on my face. This idiot that was driving the truck crashes into a snowbank going 25, 30 miles an hour, hits the snowbank. Me and my cousin are behind on the rope. We whack the tailgate. My face slams off the tailgate, and I get a slice on my shin from the hatch underneath the truck that you could literally see my bone. He picks me up, puts me in the truck. I have to go to the ER to get it stitched. He puts a dirty sock on my wound to stop the bleeding. A dirty sock. And I go to the ER, okay? And he's standing with me, and this doctor with a comb over that couldn't have been older than 40 years old numbs my leg. I swear to God, I could feel it though. I was not completely numbed. And goes to start stitching me, and I cry because it hurts. And he's like, "Oh, you're numb. You can't feel that." Boyfriend says nothing to him. And then the doctor proceeds to say to me, "How are you ever going to deliver a child if you can't even handle this?"
Oh my gosh.
Awful stitches on my leg. I have a scar on my leg now. If anybody ever wants to see it, let me know. I'll show you.
Oh my god.
Sutures were awful. My boyfriend didn't say anything to me. And if I wouldn't have had that ski mask on, I don't even want to know what would have happened if I would have hit that with my bare.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, thank God you had that ski mask on.
I know, and I wasn't going to, and he insisted. I will give him that. He insisted that I wore that mask. Like, he would not let me do it unless I put the mask on. So kudos to you for, never mind, I'm not going to go into that. Thank you if you ever listen to this, or if anybody that knows this person ever listens to this. I highly doubt anybody will. Thank you for that. Thank you for at least making sure I was safe. But yeah, I'm very persuaded that this man that was driving the truck was either on his cell phone or was not paying attention, because he literally drove right into a snowbank. Like, I literally probably could have died that night.
Yeah. Oh
Mom,
my gosh, I'm
listening to this. I never told you this story, the truth about this story. Mama, if you're listening to this story, I'm sorry I never told you guys the truth about this story, but I knew you would freak out. The story I did tell to everyone is that I slid down a hill and hit a truck. That's the true story that I just said. So I feel like I'm outing myself right now. I'm just really throwing myself under the bus.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
the story. Mom.
Well, actually, you threw yourself under the truck, but like.
Myself under the truck. There you go. That's the truth.
Oh my
I
gosh.
lived. That's what matters.
You lived. That you're right. That is what matters.
And you know what? The scar is kind of cool. Like, I look at the scar on my right shin and I'm like, you know what? I lived. Like, I lived a thrilling life for a year. Yeah, good times.
Good times.
There you go, guys. If you have any dumb dates, any awful, cringeworthy dates, let us know down below. But like we said earlier, no offense to anybody in these stories. If you know them personally, if you are them, to the man that sang to me in the back of your car, I genuinely did love the performance. You weren't as awful as I said you were. You know, it's just awkward. You know, and just, you know, don't do that to a girl. Don't tell them the engine's messed up and then have them
Or maybe like write them a song instead.
Yes, instead of a One Direction one-hit wonder.
I mean, you did really like One Direction, but like, yeah.
Let them sing it. Sorry. Moral of the story, don't settle for less than what you deserve, because you'll end up getting hurt, or you'll end up literally getting hurt and in the hospital.
And even if you do have a bad date, a bad first date, or a bad date in general, give that person another try.
Yes.
Give them a second chance, because both of our husbands, we had bad dates with them. And guess what? We're married, and we're both happily married. So
yeah, we are. Oh man, guys, let us know down below. Please let us know. Interact with us. Let us know what you want to see more of. Let us know what maybe you don't want to see. You know, all that cool stuff. Let us know. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. Follow Spotify, all that fun stuff. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What am I missing? Anchor.
Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yes, YouTube. We're hoping to get back into vlogs again soon, especially now that Nikki has a vlogging camera.
I do. I got one for Christmas.
Yay! So hopefully we can get back into that. I know you guys loved some of our vlogs. Some of our vlogs got a pretty good amount of views.
They really did.
So thank you guys for that. We'll have to get back into that. Let us know what you want to see.
Definitely. And, you know, do we have rants of the day? I feel like this whole podcast was like a rant of like what not to do during a date.
Yeah, 100%. The only rant I can possibly think of, just be courteous. Like, if you're going to take somebody to a dance, be with that person. Even if you don't want to dance, at least try.
And not even just a dance, just like a date in general. Like, don't leave a person by themselves.
Be present, and if you don't like that person, tell them. Like, don't leave them hanging on for something that's not going to last.
And if a girl says she's ready to go, or a boy, whatever, if they say they're ready to go, say your goodbyes, say I'll see you later, and take that person home.
Take them home, because there's nothing worse than being stuck in an awkward situation with no way out.
And if you feel uncomfortable with somebody, or they're treating you less than what you deserve, get out of that relationship.
Yep, 100%. Nikki couldn't have said it better. We hope you guys enjoyed this. We hope you got a laugh out of it. This is one of the very many podcasts we'll be doing this year. Still happy 2021. It's still pretty early in the year.
Yeah. It's like, what, the second week of January or the third week? Second week, I think.
Yeah, but it's going fast already.
Oh, no, it is the third week.
What? It is?
Because the 1st of January was on a Friday.
There you go.
Crazy.
This year's going to fly by. Oh my gosh. Guys, like I said, let us know. Interact with us. We would love to hear from you. I think it'd be really fun to do a Q&A episode.
Yeah.
If we could get questions from you guys, let us know. We'll answer them on next week's episode, or, whenever we get enough questions, we can do them all together on an episode and let you guys know what's going on in our world.
Yeah, definitely. I will post on our Instagram about asking some questions, and I think Cass and I will probably both end up posting on our personal Instagrams as well, asking for any questions, and our Facebooks probably.
Yeah. Twitter, catch us on
Twitter. Yeah. So definitely go ahead, like Cass said, follow us on all of those, keep up with what we're doing.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get some fun things going. I would love to do a secret episode and like have you guys do a scavenger hunt.
Oh yeah. We'll have to talk about that and see what we can do.
If you can figure it out, we will send you our secret episode that we will not be posting anywhere else.
We will not be posting. There might be some weird things on that podcast. We'll have to.
And we probably won't end up sending them to our family.
Yeah, probably not, just because that might be a little weird.
Yeah.
And I feel like my mom got enough news tonight with that truck. And my mom too. I feel like they're both probably going to be messaging me saying what the heck was wrong with you back in the day. I love you guys.
Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, and I guess with that being said, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Cass, and you know what you're listening to.
Two eyes, one world. Talk to you guys next time.
See ya.